Welcome back. The Karnataka government's vocal for local push seems to have become a major talking point not just in Karnataka but across the country. The state government has now given a cabinet nod and a draft bill has been prepared that is ready to be tabled in the assembly soon. So what is this bill all about and why the fuss, you may ask? Well, the Congress government now wants industries, tech companies and predominantly everyone in the private sector in Karnataka to prioritize Kannadigas for jobs. In the draft bill, they want companies to provide 50% jobs in management roles and 75% jobs in non-management roles for Kannadigas. The state government's defense is that Karnataka should be for Kannadigas, that is the son of the soil. Listen into the Deputy Chief Minister's defense.
I think no investors has to worry. We want all investors to come to Karnataka. There are certain sections of the people who are well talented outside the state. We want them to work in Karnataka. The Karnataka population, especially Bangalore population, has gone 1.4 crores only because outsiders coming here. They are working here. We don't want to harm anyone. We are just looking, we will give them a scopes. There are some suggestions which has come on this issue. We are just looking at it.
Now, top voices from private business industry companies have raised concerns over the move. Now, from the likes of Mohandas Pai to Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw and even NASSCOM, one of India's largest tech industries bodies, has asked for a rollback of this bill as they feel that it will have a negative impact on the functioning of the companies. Let's listen to Mohandas Pai.
There are more jobs than people. If you want to promote Kannadigas for jobs, spend more money on higher education, train them, spend more money on skill development, spend more money on internships, spend more money on apprenticeship programs, so they all become skilled. Not like this. What are you trying to achieve by this? Nothing except thing. And I'm surprised. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has been Chief Minister earlier. He's been finance. He knows everything. D.K. Shivkumar, Deputy Chief Minister for Bangalore. He's trying to build brand Bangalore and everything. He knows. He's a businessman.
Now, this issue is not about putting state ahead of the country or putting Desh ahead of domicile. It is a myopic move because at the plain level, the point is that it is a move that impacts the Indian economy. Over 245 billion is the net worth of Bengaluru's IT industry. 1.5 million is the total workforce involved in the IT sector. 60 to 70% of the workforce in the IT sector are non-locals. 25% of Karnataka's GDP is constituted by the IT sector, and 7% of India's GDP is constituted by Karnataka's GDP. So what happens in Karnataka has an impact on the entire country's economy. We've got some breaking news coming in at this point. One south state has brought in the quota for locals. Another southern state tries to reap in the benefits amid the anger among the India Inc. Andhra Pradesh Minister Nara Lokesh has welcomed businesses with open arms to Andhra Pradesh. Says that if these businesses are being turfed out of Bengaluru, Vizag, which is one of the key centers of the Andhra Pradesh government, is more than welcome to get those businesses back. So that, of course, one state's loss can be another state's gain, but let me quickly put that across to my esteemed guest who's joining me at this point live. We have Harish Biju, brand guru, and someone who's an eminent Bengalurian to take us through the logistics of this move. Mr. Biju, what do you make of this decision, reserving private jobs up to 75% in Karnataka, in non-management roles, 50% in management roles? Is this simply feasible?
Okay. See, there is this proposal which says, 50% of jobs at one particular level, at the managerial level, and 70% of jobs at the C and D category, which is the lower levels. I think, the proposal has come through with language primacy in mind. I am personally a proponent and a champion of language primacy, local language primacy. Okay. I love Kannada. And I think Kannada must get better attention, better primacy in literally everything, whether it be on the shop boards, whether it be in every sphere of life. The idea is that anybody who lives in Karnataka, it would be lovely if everybody spoke the language or at least managed with the language. So that's a great thing. But when it comes to this move, which really talks about, reservation of jobs, basis an SSLC certificate and somebody who can speak the language, etc., it's a bit of a worry for me. Because what it does is it kind of, throws a spanner in the works of private sector development. There are three sectors of the economy when it comes to jobs. One is the private sector, the second is the government sector, and then there's the non-government sector. Now, when it comes to the government sector, if you want to keep reservation of jobs, please go ahead and do it. But when it comes to the private sector, please don't intervene and interfere in the way business is run by the private sector. The private sector knows exactly what it's doing. It does its best. It is very, very centric to, good performance. And I think a merit-based private sector is what Karnataka boasts of. I don't think we should tamper with it.
So, Mr. Biju, the state argument is that priority has to be given to sons of the soil. Does that hold water when 21st century Bengaluru is essentially built on migrant labor, built on their taxes, built on the economy they spend in the city, and built on their efforts effectively?
I would put it this way, that the son of the soil must be respected, and the son of the soil must get his, her, or their share as well. But when it comes to a city like Bengaluru, we are really talking about the city being a mixed city. We are a mixture of some 27 different states, people coming from everywhere. We are a mixed culture. We are mixed about food, about dressing habits, about the way we partake of festivals, etc. Bengaluru is a fantastic ecosystem for that. The Kannadiga is a very large-hearted person. The Kannadiga embraces everybody who comes in. The Kannadiga knows no jingoism. And in this kind of a situation, I think the city has flourished. We have people from all over contributing to the progress of the city. But I think, what's really happened is language primacy has come to the fore now. Fundamentally because, there are subliminal situations when Kannada feels not to be in the mainstream. And I think a language of a state must be in the mainstream. It cannot be a side stream. So that's a good thing. But when it comes to merit, reservations, I think that's very important not to tread onto this territory.
Okay.
I think this should be a 10-year plan. You do say that, after 10 years, we'll implement this as a rule. Well, people will prepare over the next 10 years. Everybody who comes in from outside will learn the local language. Everybody will embrace the local language. And I think that's a better way of doing it. You need to give time to implement such an action. It cannot be done on a particular date.
Okay, my final question to Harish Bijur, and we've got some big news coming in also before that. What damage does this potentially do to brand Bengaluru as a major investment destination for MNCs?
At this given point of time, it doesn't do any damage. Because, we have a savvy set of people in government, and I hope they're listening. Our Chief Minister, Mr. Siddaramaiah, is a very savvy person. Our Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. D.K. Shivkumar, is a very solid entity and equally savvy. I'm sure they're listening, and I'm sure they will take the correct action. I think what's happened is an announcement has been made without prior consultation with industry. And I think that's wrong because, industry is just one phone call away. And all you need to do is maybe we make 20 phone calls and you have the entire industry assembled in front of you. Consultation is easy. So consult and go ahead. Maybe a great thing to do. But at this point of time, I think brand Bengaluru remains as solid, as positive, as energetic as ever before. And I hope it does in the future as well.
All right. Before I go across to my guests, there is some very important breaking news that we hope to put out on screens as well. The Karnataka government has put this bill on hold after the massive outcry. Harish Biju, thank you so much for joining us at this point. But the big news that's coming in at this point is that the Karnataka government has put this quota bill on hold, as you can see on your screens right now, after a massive outcry. But yes, there is a lot to unpack because one would assume that there was a lot of thought put into that bill and the sentiment is going to continue bringing itself up again and again. To put that, let me go across to my guest joining us at this point, Ashwini Shankar, spokesperson of the BJP. We hope to be also joined by Mahesh Murthy, venture capitalist and head of Pinstorm Bhavya. We are also being joined by Narasimha Murthy, spokesperson of the Congress Party, and Priya Shetty Rajgopal, managing partner of Multiversal Advisory as well. First, let me go across to our Congress spokesperson, Narasimha Murthy. Sir, the big news coming in, your bill, the bill which your party was defending so stringently across for the entire day has now been put on hold. Clearly, your party and your government did not really anticipate the entire blowback and the criticism that would come in, not just from the opposition parties, but also from your own industry leaders and also from your own people.
So it's me, it's Bhavya Narasimha Murthy. You call me sir. So yes, we have put it on a
my
hold.
mistake, please. Please go on.
Okay. This shows that our government is democratic, and we have very clearly said that we will be holding consultations with the industries, in case there is some improvement that needs to be made to the bill. We will definitely consult them and make the provisions. We will come to a middle ground. But this bill has been framed keeping the interests of people of Karnataka, the daughters and soils of this state. They need to get the opportunity to build their life. That is one of our main concerns. And it's fair. It's fair to say that 50% of management should go to Karnataka people who are Kannadigas. And we have listed the qualification as well. And 75% of Group C and D is what we are saying. It's only fair that we have asked for this. Industries have raised concerns, and in fact, before this, I remember I heard the speaker say, we are not giving the time to
Bhavya, I'm sorry, but
and all.
This is the second U-turn your government has done. This is the second U-turn your government has done. First, the Chief Minister puts out a tweet saying that your cabinet has.
No, we have put it on hold. Doesn't mean
that is a U-turn, right?
No, it's not a U-turn.
Fine.
Put it on hold. It's not a U-turn.
Okay, a government which does not. Okay, a government which fiddles and comes to neutral is not much better off than a government that keeps going to reverse gear. This is the second time you've done it. The first was, of course, you put out a statement. The Chief Minister puts out a tweet saying 100% reservation for Kannadigas in Group C and Group D, and then deletes it. No explanation given. Now, your Chief Minister, the Deputy Chief Minister comes out and gives a statement saying that we are ready, and then
Ritangshu, it's the same bill, and we are improvising. Yes, we are concerned about the concerns of the industries. We care about them.
Is this the idea of improvisation, ma'am, in which you trial and error, you put out a move, you see how it goes, and then you...
You need to let me speak also. Let me address your concern as well. Let me speak. We did not withdraw the bill. We have only put it on hold because tomorrow it was supposed to be tabled in the assembly, and because the industries have raised their concern, we, being a very democratic government, we want to address their concern. That's why we are not tabling it tomorrow, right? And there will be improvisation. We will come to a middle ground. We will tell them that we are not asking them to change the whole thing tomorrow. We are not asking their HR to work on this whole bill tomorrow. We have given them 3 years' time. The whole bill needs to be discussed with them, and our Deputy Chief Minister and the Chief Minister, we have very clearly said, including our IT Minister, all of them have very clearly said that they will hold consultation. We will make sure their concerns are addressed. But our concern, our priority is that the daughters and sons of this soil should get the right to build their life for their livelihood.
So you're stating...
It should not be
You're sticking to the statement that sons of the soil... Once again, Bhavya, I need to move on to my other guests. I have to conclude your arguments at that. You're saying that the interest of the sons of the soil must be maintained. My problem is
Sons
with that
and
statement. Let me
daughters,
get in Ashwini Shankar, spokesperson of
and
the
sons.
BJP.
Can I just
Sir,
correct you? The
okay,
daughters
fine,
and
ma'am.
sons.
Now it's ma'am. I would request you to put forward the same courtesy that you expect from me to not interrupt me when I'm
Exactly,
speaking.
but no,
Thank
I
you.
just corrected you. It's not just sons, it's daughters
Ashwini.
as well. I'm just asking you to be gender just.
Very good, ma'am. Thank you so much for that correction. That does not change the debate. Ashwini Shankar, spokesperson of the
It
BJP.
does make
This is a
difference.
move that unfortunately is not restricted to just Karnataka. We have seen that also, the attempts have also been made in Haryana, which is a BJP ruled state. And this entire sons and daughters of the soil, which is movement, we have seen it in Maharashtra also from the Shiv Sena days. My point is this. I'm not even getting into the Desh being above the state argument. The point is cities like Bengaluru, cities like Mumbai, cities like Delhi, NCR are built on migrant labor, which is why these cities become bigger, richer, and more developed than other cities, because you have people coming in from all across the country to try and get jobs. They stay there, they spend money, they contribute to the economy, property prices go up, capital spending goes up, there's more malls built, there's more infrastructure. So these are cities literally built on migrant labor. So when it comes to getting benefits from migrants and outsiders, you say, okay, come in, do come in, we are opening jobs, we are giving you all possible the red carpets because we want your money. But then when it comes to giving them jobs, suddenly when it comes to playing politics, you say, no, we want only our locals to get these jobs. Isn't that hypocrisy?
Ritangshu, firstly, when it comes to Kannada, Karnataka and Kannadiga and the state, BJP is the party which is always in the forefront and it's a torch bearer. So our commitment is to protect the welfare of Kannadigas. But Bengaluru, as being the cosmopolitan city, and Kannada, Karnataka, we all are peace lovers and we love people, entire Indian people. So we all are one, we are united. So everything has to be balanced, Ritangshu, here. But what we are seeing here is totally dirty politics played by Siddaramaiah government. Siddaramaiah is not in power. This is for the first time. He was in power even from 2013 to 2018. And Karnataka has been ruled by Congress in the history times, if you see. But till now, they did not realize the necessity. Now, lot of things are happening, Ritangshu, in the state. Every day, every night, we have Congress government involved in scams. You must be knowing, the entire Indians must be knowing that, 187 crores rupees scam of Valmiki. And we have the Muda scam. And in the upcoming days, we even have the scam from the agriculture
Ashwini ji,
department.
let's stick to the point,
Bus
please.
board. So this is totally a point of diversion politics, what Siddaramaiah government and Mr. D.K. Shivkumar is playing today in the state. If at all they are interested in the public of Karnataka and the youth of Kannadigas, they have to think
I would
of
say
the
it's also
infrastructure.
diversionary politics by the BJP, because you're not addressing the issue, ma'am. You're not addressing the issue. You're saying that this is a diversion. I say this is not a diversionary tactic here. This is a very serious issue that needs to come up. The issue of language pride or issue of Kannadiga pride cannot be used as a distraction, cannot be used as a voting metric very conveniently, because at the end of the day, what Karnataka is doing and what Karnataka's parties are doing is managing to alienate the industry which has given so much to Bengaluru. Priya Chetty Rajagopal, let me bring you on that. The fact remains that Bengaluru was an industry hub. It was locked in an IT race with Hyderabad for the longest time. It was one second. The fact is that Bengaluru in the late 90s, early 2000s was locked in a race with Hyderabad to be IT capital. Then after political changes happened in Andhra Pradesh, the city went forward, and today that city, I can say it for as someone who knows all the people I know, they're either working in Delhi NCR or they're working in Mumbai or they're working in Bengaluru. It's one of the biggest job granters of the entire country because of its position as India's Silicon Valley. Can politics really be afforded at this point, given the fact that Bengaluru holds a key to India's GDP, not just Karnataka's GDP?
You've put it very well. This is a national issue, not just a state issue. But I cannot take away from the undoubtedly laudable intentions of the state government to try and ensure the Kannadigas are represented. I don't think we can take away from that. Harish put it very well when he said, we need to do this in not private sector, but government jobs. We need language primacy. We certainly want to make sure that there's time given for, some things like this to be, if at all, to be implemented. But taking away from the very cosmopolitan and the melting pot that Bangalore is, which is a direct trigger for its economic growth, for its primacy as a city, as an international IT hub. And don't forget, we are also the city with the largest number of unicorns. We have, let's face it, I am not able to fully understand what the emergency is. Look at the fact that we have a 2.4% unemployment index, which is, we are only third in the country, just below Odisha, which is 0.3%, and Gujarat, which is 2.3%. So we are not doing too badly. And in all the jobs that are being created across the state, across the country, you look at approximately, I think about 2.9 crore jobs. Almost 68 lakh jobs are coming from Karnataka, which is the second to 1.2 crores in Mumbai. So we're doing well in new employment generation. And just for your information, we have 9.8 government jobs lying unfilled. So you can see the dichotomy in this, that there are jobs waiting to be filled, and now we're talking about employment. These are facts and metrics. But
that's
from
a
more
damning stat indeed. That's That's a damning stat indeed. 9.8 lakh government jobs are unfulfilled, and yet the governments of the day decide to tinker with the private sector, which as Priya Chetty has been saying, and also what Hari said as well. The private sector does not require your politics in order to decide who to hire and not to hire. Bhavya, Naseema and Muti, please answer that important statistic that our co-panelist has put forward as one. When there are so many government jobs in Karnataka which are unfulfilled, why do you have to meddle with the private sector, which is the cash cow of your government?
When we are speaking about private sector, of course, that will apply to public sector as well. The government, any recruitment that's going to happen in future, we will be following the same rule. And in fact, 100%. Right? Now we are not talking about the vacancy in government sector. We are talking about the reservation for Kannadigas. The recruitments are happening on their own. Yes, that is huge vacancy. In fact, if you see the previous BJP government and our government in the past 1 year, the amount of recruitment that they have done, if you contrast this, you will understand that who really cares about, the proper smooth working of the government as well as getting youngsters into the government. That's on one point. And coming to this is about reservation. This is according to Sarojini Mahishi committee, which had recommended in 1984. They had made some recommendation. In fact, they wanted 80% and 65%.
Yes, a committee which recommended, Bhavya, a committee which recommended in 1984, which you have dug up 40 years later, and then you have put on hold after 24 hours. Now, the point is that, again, we are not just talking about private jobs. If the focus is about giving Kannadigas jobs, you have failed to do that in a government sector where there are already reservations. So when you have already failed on one sector, you are trying to bring it in another sector, which has been doing well. That is the point.
Ritangshu, even before this, I have corrected you twice. Once about my name, second about being gender sensitive, and the third one, I would like to tell you not to make some statements which are factually incorrect, right? The process of recruitment cannot happen in a day. And the governments keep changing. Yes, there is lot of backlogs.
And how long have you been in power, ma'am?
In government, and the government, if you say this, it will just look like no recruitments are happening. There are at least 4 to 5 examinations, lined up. And some of these, they're not actually getting dates because government exams can only happen on Sundays. After our government came, you go talk to any competitive exam aspirants. They will tell you they don't have time anymore because continuous exams are happening. Our government just came 1 year ago. We have fulfilled all our promises when it comes to guarantees and even the recruitment. We are doing it. You please get your facts straight before making statements like why we are not recruiting. There are exams lined up. Starting from the topmost Karnataka government recruitment, that is
ma'am, with all due respect,
so don't make statements like
with
that.
all due respect, ma'am, I think all our viewers who are looking at that important breaking plate which we are running on the left of our screens can see and understand by itself as to who has actually done their homework. A government which has to first delete a tweet and then put a bill on
I am
hold
not saying.
means that it has
See,
not done its
again,
homework,
again,
and it had
say
40
that
years
we
to do
withdraw
so.
the bill.
Unfortunately, that's all the time I have, Bhavya. Unfortunately, ma'am, you have not extended me the same courtesy which you demanded at this point, but nevertheless, that's all I have. Ashwini Shankar, spokesperson BJP, Bhavya Narasimhamurthy of the Congress, and Priya Chetty Rajgopal. Thank you so much for joining us on the Urban Debate.